Tanzania, a land where churches and mosques rise together, side by side, where Sunday and Friday are both sacred, where Christians and Muslims walk as neighbors, pray in peace and live as one. But something has changed. A cross now stands threatened, a pulpit silenced, and one voice targeted. This is not a nation new to religious balance. For decades, we've honored a peaceful rhythm, Christian, then Muslim, then Christian again. Julius Nyerere, Christian, Ali Hassan Mwinyi, Muslim, Benjamin Mkapa, Christian, Jakaya Kikwete, Muslim, John Pombe Magufuli, Christian, Samia Suluhu Hassan, Muslim. In 2025, history speaks again. A Christian presidency is expected. But what happens when tradition is ignored? When power becomes permanent and faith becomes forbidden? This is not just about religion. This is about control. But what happens nearing tradition is ignored? When power becomes permanent and faith becomes forbidden? This is no longer just about religion. This is about control. The closure of Bishop Gwajima's church, outsourcing, not the climax. It was the trigger.
Ni saa 5:15 usiku hapa Dar es Salaam, na hawa maaskofu wamefika hapa usiku sasa hivi kwa sababu ya taharuki iliyotokea, kwamba tunaona hapo polisi wamekuja kuzunguka kanisa la Ufufuo na Uzima hapo Ubungo, na maaskofu hao wamekuja haraka kukimbia kuja kusikiliza ni nini kinachoendelea. Of course hata mimi mwenyewe sijajua kinachoendelea, lakini naona hapo nje kuna defenders za polisi kama 3 hivi wamekuja kuzunguka kanisa. Hatujajua nini kinaendelea.
Wed as a conversation on abductions, liberated 1907, into a war on the altar. No warning, no legal basis, just force and silence. But behind that silence, whispers are growing louder.
Juzi alizungumza kiongozi wa dini ya Kikristo, Askofu Gwajima. Kazungumza vizuri sana. Kazungumzia mada ya wananchi wanatekwa.
Not just of oppression, but of fear from those in power. Not fear of chaos, breathed of protest, but fear of one man. A man with a microphone, a man with a following, a man with faith.
Tulipokuwa tunaondoka na hao askari, nikawauliza kama siku 3 mbona sioni lunch box? Akasema askofu, tunachukua tu unga na maji na chumvi, nyama iko huko. Unajua tena askari. Nikasema sawa. Tukaenda hao mbali kule, ilikuwa kasisi kuelekea kama Seru hivi. Tukafika kule.
Bishop Josephat Gwajima. They say he was just preaching. But what if his voice was reaching too far? What if he wasn't just a preacher, but a symbol? What if the real reason they shut the church doors wasn't about doctrine, but destiny? They've tried to frame it as law. But behind closed rooms, the conversation is different. It's not just about churches. It's not just about Christians. It's about influence, similarity. It's about 2025. Collaborated. What Gwajima represents. To millions of believers, and to those who believe his time has come.
Lakini nilichoambia kwamba mkiona CCM uchaguzi umemshinda, ukiona anafanya vituko hivi, basi ujue uwe ushamshinda. Shida yenu sasa tunawashangaa wengine mnataka kususia uchaguzi.
Because in the corridors of power, some have begun to fear he may be more than just a shepherd. He may be a contender. And what they fear most isn't what he's said, it's what he hasn't. Because since the raid, Gwajima has gone silent. But history tells us silence isn't surrender, rallied. Sometimes, it's the stillness before the storm. Then the questions begin to rise. Who decides who gets to pray in Tanzania?
Naona hali yetu jinsi ilivyo hapa nchini kwetu Tanzania. Hali ya maisha kiusalama, hali ya maisha kiuchumi ni mbaya kupita maelezo.
Across the country, as dawn breaks, mosques echo freely. Morning prayers roll across rooftops, unbothered, uninterrupted, but church bells silent. Gates chained, pews gathering dust. This isn't just silence, it's selective silence. The Constitution guarantees freedom of worship, but that right now walks on one leg. If worship is sacred, why is one side favored? If all Tanzanians are equal, why are some voices punished? So, whose right to worship is protected? Why only Gwajima? Other Christian leaders have spoken. Bishop Gwajima of the Catholic Church condemned the abductions too. But no police knocked on his door. No court ordered his pulpit closed. This is only one man, Josephat Gwajima. Is it just his faith? Or is it something more? His voice? His followers? Or the fear that he might be more than just a bishop?
Lengo langu la kuongea ni kusema mimi sikubaliani na vitu hivi 100%. Hivi vinaitwa vya kijinga, havifai kutajwa kwenye jamii ya Tanzania.
Because what started with abductions, what looked like just another raid on religion, might be something bigger. The government denies. June 10th, 2025, a Tuesday morning. The nation is watching. Then, finally, a press conference. We are not involved, they said. That closure letter, it didn't come from us. But outside the church, the police were still there. Uniformed, armed, silent. So who is running the show? One government arm says it's not them. Another government arm enforces the closure.
Walifunga kanisa na tukaamua siku kaa kimya tufuatilie sasa kisheria, lakini cha kushangaza tulipofuatilia mahakamani wakasema hawajalifunga hili kanisa. Sasa kama hawajalifunga, hawa walioko hapo maskari nini? Basi tukasema Jumapili twende. Tumekuja hapa twende ibadani, tumekutana na maskari wako pale umeweka na utepe, lakini kimsingi ni uonevu, na ndio maana tunataka kurudia. Tunasema kwamba hivi hatuombi kwa sababu ni haki yetu sisi kuabudu.
Two faces, one regime, one talks in denial, the other acts with force. Like a ventriloquist show, one mouth speaks, another moves.
Juhudi kubwa anayochukua ni kukatisha tamaa kwamba tusisimame kuendelea kudai haki zetu, kuendelea kudai haki za nchi. Hiyo ndio juhudi yao kubwa wanaoifanya.
Is Suluhu in charge? Or is she just the face of someone else's playbook? Citizens asked, are we being governed or being gamed? The confusion didn't stop there. Some believed this was a trap, that Gwajima was being baited. Let him come back to church, they thought, then arrest him, silently, discreetly. But it didn't work. Because when they tried to corner the bishop, he vanished. No car, no convoy, just gone. To the youth, he's become a Schofield, escaping when the trap is set, dodging a regime snare like a man led by higher purpose. To the faithful, he's a Daniel, surrounded by lions, but untouched. But who is the real fugitive? The bishop or the woman in charge? Because while they chase a preacher, the world begins to ask, who is really on trial? This isn't just political chess, it's spiritual warfare. And as the government speaks from both sides of its mouth, the people begin to wonder, are we a nation ruled by law or by lies? June 12th, 2025, a high-level meeting is held, quietly, behind closed doors. Not to unite Tanzania, but to bring down one man, Bishop Gwajima.
Nataka nimuulize mtu yoyote, kama baba yako akishushwa mbele yako wewe mwenyewe, alafu kesho yake akapatikana amekufa, utajisikiaje?
According to sources, this was not the first of its kind. It was the third secret meeting in a span of 1 week held to discuss Gwajima, a meeting filled with fear, strategy, and ambition. They say he's too loud, too followed, too influential. But why is influence now a crime? What was discussed, according to insiders, would shake the very foundation of the country.
Na yeye eti anaongea anasema, Gwajima anasema mtoto wa watu. Mimi nimetaja watoto wa wote. Nimetaja mtoto wangu Jordan, nimetaja mtoto wa Majaliwa, nimetaja mtoto wa Samia Suluhu Hassan, nimetaja mtoto wa watoto wa watu wengi. Eti yeye anaumwa na mtoto mmoja tu.
3 key plans were tabled. 1. Arrest Gwajima, the hope? He would attend the court hearing. 2. Outsource the attack. We've denied any involvement, they whispered. Let's use another arm of government. And so, the judiciary was tapped. Bilingual, a decision was made to retire the Muslim Chief Justice, Professor Ibrahim Hamis Juma. The meeting done in a hurry so that the new judge is in office before 11 a.m. The court time was changed from 3 p.m. to 11 a.m. to bring confusion. Blow hot and cold. Judiciary acts, executive denies. 3. Silence future critics. Pastors expected to speak out after the court's ruling, track them, abduct them, muzzle the voice of faith.
Kama baba yako mzazi akashushwa kwenye gari alafu kesho yake amekufa, utajisikiaje? Lakini sio huyo tu. Nataka kusaiti matukio ambayo pamoja na hao wengine 83, nataka kusaiti matukio ambayo yanagusa sana. Tumeona juzi kule mtu anaitwa Mdude, ambaye na yeye watu wamekuja nyumbani kwake, wamevunja mlango, wamemchukua akiwa hai mbele ya familia yake, wameondoka naye, mpaka leo hakuna mtu anayejua yuko wapi.
June 13th, 2025, Judgment Day. A Christian judge, George Macheke, newly appointed, to be in charge of the fight against his own brothers. Behind the scenes, 1. George is given conditions that the church has to remain closed. 2. The church case was scheduled for 3 p.m. but brought forward to 11 a.m. to cause confusion. Under pressure, it's ruled, the church remains closed, yet not a single mosque has been closed. 2 arms of government. One says, it wasn't us. The other signs the decree.
Hawa ndio unaotaka wasimamie mustakabali wa nchi yako. Hawa.
The system is speaking from both sides of its mouth. A dangerous game is being played. And the pawn on the board, not just Gwajima, but the people, the faith, the very soul of Tanzania. A nation in confusion. One arm of government points left, the other right. And Tanzanians, caught in the middle, looking for answers. The executive, led by a Muslim president, claims the courts acted independently. Yet the court ruling, signed by the new Christian Chief Justice, came hours after a secret meeting.
Kama hela ikiingia na ikiwa inatoka ni mama anazitoa. Kwa nini tena ikija kwenye deni tunajumuisha kwamba Tanzania deni la taifa? Why?
Goli la mama. Goli ni la mama.
Ila deni
la taifa.
La taifa. Hapo sasa. Patamu hapo.
2 sides, 1 game, and the people, the pawns. The church responds. As the silence deepens, something stirs. A wave begins to build. Not from 1 bishop, not from 2, but many. Church leaders across the country, from pulpits and pressers, condemn the court ruling. The message is clear. We shall worship, despite threats, despite silence from the state. They decide, Sunday, June 15th, services will resume. God's word will be spoken. Behind the scenes, the plot shifts. But word travels fast. The police, already stationed around Glory of Christ Church, receive new orders. 1. halt plans to arrest other bishops. 2. Focus everything on one man, Bishop Gwajima. He's expected to show. A flyer begins circulating. Gwajima will be in church this Sunday. That changes everything. Saturday, June 14th, 2025. The day before the storm. Gwajima, still silent. No public message. No sermon. No hint of retreat. But inside the walls of Glory of Christ, a decision is made. Let the people pray. Police reinforcements double. Checkpoints expand. Snipers, rumors swirl. The city holds its breath. Sunday, June 15th, 2025. The congregation gathers. From sunrise, the faithful arrive. Mothers with children, fathers with Bibles, youth with fire in their eyes. But they are met with a wall of shields. Uniformed, armed, ordered. They came to worship. The state came to crush. Then, tear gas, screams, chaos, hearts break, but voices rise, and the world watches, a Sunday that was never supposed to happen.
Hatujaiba, hatujaua, na hapa ni mahali ambapo wafu wamefufuka. Hapo ni mahali ambapo watu wanapona. Hapo ni mahali ambapo watu wanafungisha ndoa, na ndio maana hata serikali inatoa leseni za kufungisha ndoa, sio kama unanielewa. Ndio maana serikali inatoa leseni ya kufungisha ndoa. Hebu jaribu kuwaza. Sasa hivi hapa ndoa zihitajiwa kufungwa. Leo ni Jumapili ya pili. Hakuna nini kinachoendelea. Wanajisikiaje watu? Ndio maana sisi tunaiomba serikali ambayo inaongozwa na Chama cha Mapinduzi. Tunajitahidi sana kutangaza amani, kwamba Tanzania ni nchi ya amani, lakini tunaanza kuona kuna mambo chini yanaendelea, ndo kama hivi. Sasa sisi tukija kusanyika hapa kuna ubaya mzee. Ndio maana tumeamua tuje hapa angalau tumwabudu Mungu wetu.
What began as silence is now a song, a cry, a movement. Because when you block the altar, you don't end the worship, you ignite the believers.
Na mimi mpaka sasa ni mwanachama wa Chama cha Mapinduzi. Naungana na waasisi wetu Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere pamoja na Aman Abeid Karume na viongozi wengine wote wa Tanzania waliowahi kutawala nchi hii, akiwemo Ali Hassan Mwinyi ametangulia mbele za haki, akiwemo Benjamin Mkapa ametangulia mbele za haki, akiwemo Jakaya Mlisho Kikwete ambaye tuko naye leo, akiwemo John Pombe Magufuli na viongozi wengine wote. Hawa wote hawajaasisi chama cha kuteka watu, na CCM sisi si watekaji, na anayeteka watu anateka kwa nia yake yeye mwenyewe.
Next time on Sauti Yetu. 1. Who is Gwajima and why does the system fear him? 2. What has Suluhu really done in 4 years of leadership? 3. Will she become the CCM candidate in 2025? 4. 7 things that might change in Tanzania if she rules beyond 2025. 5 reasons why Suluhu is ready to rule, no matter the cost. Are Tanzanians ready for 14 more years?